Continuing from the previous chapter, I kept heading south, taking numerous vehicles, waiting at each city's bus stations for 1 or 2 hours, hoping to encounter a woman dressed in black who would speak to me. I thought it would be easy to find a woman in black, but after traveling through several places, I still hadn't come across anyone dressed in black who would talk to me. After 3 days of constant travel, I arrived at a small southern city called Xingzhou. By the time I got off the train, it was already late in the evening. As I walked out of the station, a woman approached me, asking with a smile, "Young man, do you need a place to stay?" I was about to decline, but her attire made me hesitate because she was wearing a black dress. Initially, I didn't plan to stay anywhere near the train station as the nearby hotels were usually expensive. However, in my good mood, I decided to spend the night at her family's inn. After resting for the night, I rented a cheap single room in this unfamiliar city. 3 days passed, and I still hadn't encountered the woman with the surname Huang. With only 200 yuan left in my pocket, I had to find a job because I had no idea when that woman would appear. I found a job at a furniture store, selling furniture for the boss, with a monthly salary of 2,500 yuan plus commission. I continued working while waiting for that woman, surnamed Huang, to show up. 2 weeks later, I became familiar with everything in Xingzhou, its geography, culture, and feng shui. The city was mainly surrounded by mountains, and its feng shui was known as 9 dragons returning to the lair, although 3 of the dragons were dead dragons. These 3 dead dragons hindered the city's economic development, resulting in many abandoned construction projects and adversely affecting the local economy. Nonetheless, despite the negative feng shui, the city was said to produce prominent figures every 100 years or so. 80 or 90 years ago, an influential person had emerged here, and the real estate might not be doing well, but tourism was thriving, especially with attractions like the Forest of 10,000 Peaks and the lake within. My grandfather had a reason for arranging me in this place, which was suitable for my development. At this point, I hadn't fully grasped the skills he taught me, and this small city was the perfect place for me to improve step by step. I had to admit that my grandfather was truly remarkable. However, that woman with the surname Huang still hadn't shown up, and now I was broke. With only 200 yuan left, I had survived for half a month through extreme frugality. I had thought about asking the boss for an advance, but I had only been working for half a month, so it didn't feel appropriate. Today was my day off, and I roamed the streets, looking at the vendors selling grilled meat. The aroma of the sizzling meat made my mouth water. "Liu." Suddenly, a voice full of surprise called out from behind. I turned around to see a girl approaching me with a delighted smile. Yi Tingting. I muttered her name under my breath. Yi Tingting was my high school classmate, a good-looking girl with glasses and long hair. My impression of her was that she was both beautiful and kind. She had transferred to another school during our second year of high school. I heard she had been living with her grandmother and attending school in our area. Later, her parents came back and took her away. At the time, she was doing well in class and actively sought my help with her studies. "Is it really you, Liu?" Yi Tingting approached me excitedly, her face beaming with joy. "Yi Tingting, did you transfer to the city?" I asked. She nodded and said, "Yes." But she immediately shook her head and corrected herself. "To be precise, I'm here to attend university." "What about you? Didn't you choose a prestigious university with your exam scores?" she asked, surprised. Talking about going to university brought a wave of bitterness in my heart, but it passed quickly. I gave a helpless shake of my head and said, "No, I'm not going to university." "Why not?" Yi Tingting looked surprised. "With your excellent grades, how can you not go to university?" "It's nothing. I just don't want to go," I evasively replied, not wanting to tell her that my grandfather didn't allow me to attend. Yi Tingting seemed like she wanted to inquire further, but seeing my expression, she refrained from pressing further. Can you lend me some money? I'll pay you back in a couple of days," I hesitantly asked her. Borrowing money from a female classmate felt awkward. Yi Tingting made a sound of surprise. Probably taken aback by my request, I hurriedly explained, I know it's not right to ask for money from someone I just met. But I promise I'm not the kind of person who borrows money and doesn't return it. I'm really hungry, and I just need 20 yuan to get something to eat. Don't worry, I'll pay you back. Embarrassed, my face turned red. Seeing this, Yi Tingting quickly said to the barbecue stall's owner, Boss, give us 10 skewers, 2 sausages, 5 chicken wings, and 2 chicken legs. Is that enough? She asked after placing the order. Turning to me, I quickly replied, it's more than enough. It's too much. It's okay, my treat, Yi Tingting said, taking out 2 100 yuan bills and handing them to me. Here, I'll lend it to you for now. If you run out, you can ask me for more. In that moment, I felt Yi Tingting was exceptionally kind. Meeting someone like her in this unfamiliar city was indeed fortunate. Just as I was about to thank Yi Tingting, a car's engine suddenly roared nearby. Soon, a car worth millions of yuan stopped not far from us. A beautiful woman got out of the car, wearing a refreshing outfit. Liao, what are you looking at? Seeing my lack of response, Yi Tingting nudged me with her elbow. I made a sound and said, It's alright, men always like to look at beautiful women. She's our college's school flower, Huang. She's a senior now, and she comes from a wealthy family. She has a lot of suitors, Yi Tingting explained. I quickly said to Yi Tingting, it's not like that. I wasn't just looking at her because she's beautiful, it's because, wait a moment. I interrupted Yi Tingting, walking directly towards that Wang Yi, the woman with the surname Huang. Wait for me, I told Yi Tingting and walked straight toward Huang Yi.